Class 4, Chapter 11, Care for Friends. Youngster saved a family back to life. Child's courage averts danger. Read these news headlines. Do we usually help people when they meet with accidents? What can be done in such situation? Can take them to hospital, can inform elders, can inform concerned authorities. Have you or your friends ever met with accidents? Mention some common accidents. We too can help. Don't people who meet with accidents need care before reaching hospitals? First aid is a care given to the person who meets with an accident before she or he receives medical assistance. First aid. What are the benefits of first aid? To reduce the intensity of pain, to stop bleeding, to console the wounds. What are the duties of a first aid provider? Console the accident victim, provide medical assistance at the earliest. We must have a clear idea about the first aid to be provided to the victims in each accident case. Wounds. Wounds mean to hurt by cutting or breaking body skin. Have you ever get wounded? What do we do when the wound is minor? Clean the wounds with pure water. Hold the wounded part tightly. Hold the wounded part tightly with a clean cloth to prevent bleeding. Don't remove the blood clot from the injured part. Do not leave the wounds open as it will cause infection. Let the injured person be seated or laid comfortably if the injury is serious. Take the injured person to hospital at the earliest. Why should the first aid provider keep his hands clean? Nosebleed. Let the person sit leaning forward. Press the tip of a nose with thumb or forefinger. Ask the person to breathe through the mouth. Do not let the person to talk. Seek medical assistance. Do not allow the person to get panic. A mole in the eye. It is common that dust falls into eye at times. We can rinse the eye with clear water or remove the speck of dust with a wet kerchief. Particles that get into eyes should not be forced out but removed only with medical assistance. Sprain. Have you felt a sprain while playing or stepping downstairs? What will happen when there is a sprain? First aid for sprain. Hold the sprained part high without moving. Place an ice pack to reduce pain. Ice pack, a plastic cover with ice wrapped by a clean piece of cloth, can be used as an ice pack. Bruise. A bruise is an injury which appears as a purple mark on your BC. What first aid can be provided for a bruise? You can place a wet piece of cloth or an ice pack on the bruised part to avoid pain or swelling. Do not apply heat or massage the area. Fainting. Fainting is a temporary loss of consciousness. What will you do if your friend fainted while playing in the ground? See that the person can lay down when he feels giddy. Then hold the legs high. Loosen tight clothes if any. Ensure fresh air by avoiding to crowd around the person. Fracture. Sometimes bones fracture due to accidents, but surrounding body parts may not get injured. In some other instances, the broken bone comes out piercing the body. What first aid can be provided for fractures? Take care to prevent bleeding from germs from entering the wound. Provide medical assistance immediately. Shift the fractured person only after keeping the fractured part intact. A splint may be used for this purpose. Splint. While dressing the fractured part, a splint is used to prevent the movement of joints above and below the fractured bone. A normal ruler, thin piece of wood, cardboard can be used. Food choking. Choking is when food or an object gets stuck in the throat. Food getting blocked in the throat is a dangerous situation. The immediate first aid provided at a time help to save a life. What is the first aid for this situation? Press the stomach with one hand and tap strongly on the back of the affected person. If the food does not come out, even after this is done for 3 or 5 times, provide medical assistance immediately. Burns. A burn is a type of injury to skin caused by heat or electricity. What are the situations of getting burns? When acid falls on the body, when hot water falls on the skin, when the body accidentally catches fire. What should be done when there is burn? Pour water continuously over the burned area. Do not put ice on the burned area. Do not pull away the clothes stuck to the burnt area. Do not apply anything as medicine on the burnt area. When the dress catches fire. Try to extinguish the fire using water. Rolling on the ground helps to put out the fire. Do not allow the person to run in panic. Fire blazes by wind. Cover the person immediately with a thick blanket or jute sack. What are the precautions that can be taken to avoid burns? Discuss and note down in your diary. Snake bite. A snake bite is an injury caused by bite of a snake. What first aid can be given to the person bitten by a snake? Console the person. Do not allow the person to run or walk. Wash the wound clean. Keep the bitten part lowered. Provide medical assistance at the earliest. There are poisonous and non-poisonous snakes. Identifying the snake will make the treatment easy. Drowning. Knowing to swim will reduce accidents in water. We can bring a person who fell in water ashore by providing him a long rope or a cloth or a piece of wood. Do not jump into the water if you do not know swimming. Electric shock. Don't we use a number of electric equipments? Great care should be taken while using them. What could be done to save a person from an electric shock? Switch off the power supply. If flow of current cannot be stopped, separate the affected person from the electric connection using a glove or a dry piece of wood. What other materials can be used for this? The safety of the person who helps is also important. What precautions can be taken to prevent electric shocks? Fix water leak immediately. Wear dry gloves. Stand on a dry board or platforms. First aid box. A first aid box is called a collection of supplied and equipment that is used to give medical treatment. What are the materials necessary for first aid? Don't you have a first aid box with all such things? Let's see a first aid box. Antiseptic solution, cotton, band-aid, thermometer. Accident can happen to anyone at any time. First aid helps to save the precious life. First Aid Day every year, the second Saturday of September, is observed as First Aid Day to bring out the significance of first aid. What should be done before taking to hospital when we deal with an accident? If the wounds are severe, immediately take the person to hospital, or else provide the basic first aid, then take the person to hospital. Significant learning outcomes. Identifies and lists out situation when accident may happen. Identifies and state the importance of first aid. Defines first aid. Explains the kind of first aid for each accident. Prepares a first aid box and uses it appropriately. Why do we press the wound tightly when it bleeds excessively? A. To reduce pain. B. To avoid jumps. C. To reduce bleeding. When there is a burn on the hand, A. Place ice. B. Apply toothpaste. C. Cool under running water. Extended activities. Organize a training class on the first aid with the support of health workers. Prepare first aid chart, posters, etc. Stating clearly the importance and methods of first aid. Exhibit them in your class. Prepare a first aid pamphlet including newspaper reports related to various accidents. Enact a short play on importance of first aid on first aid day in your school. Collect pictures, videos and detailed information related to first aid. Thank you.